Welcome to Instant Deck Techs. The aim of this series is to give you a short, concise guide on how to build a certain deck. It won't cover every card, but we'll go through all the categories and go over the types of cards you need to make the deck work. The commanders for this deck are Rograkh, son of Rohgahh, and Ardenn, Intrepid Archaeologist. Rograkh, son of Rohgahh, is a 0-mana legendary creature kobold warrior. He is a 0-1. He has First Strike, Menace, and Trample. He also has Partner. Ardenn, Intrepid Archaeologist, is 2 and a white. He is a legendary creature Core Scout and is a 2-2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may attach any number of auras and equipment you control to target permanent or player. The aim of the deck is to suit up Rograkh and have him swing through to kill your opponents. There's also a ton of fun stuff you can do with Ardenn, such as equipping your own equipment to your opponent's creatures. This will turn something like Grafted Wargear into a removal spell, as you can swap it back to one of your creatures after combat, or wait until the next turn and move it onto another one of your opponent's creatures. You can also do this with something like Skull Clamp to draw a load of cards off of your opponent's creatures dying, and because Ardenn also says player, you can move around curses as well. We want to spend turns 1 and 2 playing equipment and then play Rograkh. On turn 3, we'll play Ardenn so that when Rograkh swings on turn 3, we can attach everything to him. You want to play a lot of equipment that's CMC less than 2. Because of Ardenn, the equip cost doesn't matter, so play the most busted things you have available to you. Colossus Hammer is especially great here. You're looking for at least 10 of these in the deck. Later in the game, we'll still want to be playing equipment. With these, look for big swingy effects that will close out the game. Things like Double Strike, Lifelink, and big power buffs are great. You'll want around 6 to 8 of these. There is a ton of cards that work really well with equipment. Look for cards that tutor up equipment or help you cheat them into play. Giving them protection or changing the time you can equip or cast them is also really good. Even though we have Ardenn, having other effects that lower equip costs will serve as good redundancy if Ardenn is ever removed. For card draw, look for artifacts that have this attached to them. We'll be attacking a lot, so Mask of Memory and Rogue's Gloves work great. Look for creatures or planeswalkers in our colours that will also synergise with us playing a lot of equipment. There are other sources of card draw in our colours. Monarch will work great in our deck, so look out for those. In total, you will want at least 8 to 10 bits of card draw. For ramp, things that trigger off of us attacking are fantastic. We can also move Curse of Opulence with Ardenn, but not on a turn we want to move equipment onto Rograkh, as we can only pick one target each time we attack. Outside of these, as we in Boros colours, run the best artifact and enchantment base ramp you have available to you. Again, you want at least 8 bits in total. For spot removal, look for things that get rid of permanents so we can remove enchantments, artifacts and planeswalkers. But as we're in white, you can still run the best individual creature removal as well. 3 to 6 of these should be fine. For board wipes, I would recommend things that let you leave one creature. As Rograkh naturally has Menace, he'll still be able to swing through. Chandra's Ignition can also be a win con with how high Rograkh's power will get. Look at running at least 4 of these. Opponents will want to remove our threats, so ways of protecting are very important. Equipment that does this is obviously great, but spells that provide protection and indestructible will also work great. Gerard is also an anti-board wipe tech, as everything else will come back when he dies. I would recommend running around 4 of these. I'd also recommend running a couple of ways to bring our stuff back from the graveyard, as things will get destroyed. 2 to 4 of these should be fine. When things get grindy, these creatures can help give us an instant board state, something to consider as well. We should also run 4 to 6 big effect spells, things that stop people from blocking, do extra damage, provide extra combat steps, or help spread damage to more opponents. Kedis especially looks very fun in this deck. If you have extra combat steps, you can move curses and equipment around with Ardenn every time you attack as well. As we're in 2 colours, we can afford some utility lands. Look for things that give creatures abilities or will help smooth out our draws, such as the cycling lands. For the rest of the mana base, run the best dual-coloured lands you have, but don't run too many lands that come into play tapped, as we want to be curving out consistently. Thank you very much for watching. The cards will be listed in the description below. Comment down there if there's a deck you'd like to see a deck tech on. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll be back soon with another deck tech. Thank you very much.